My name is Eliza. I was left at the altar. I stood in my white dress, surrounded by flowers, family, and disbelief. And the man I was supposed to marry simply never showed up. We had planned the wedding for over a year. Thomas was thoughtful, quiet, and stable. Everything I thought I wanted. We met at work, fell in love over late coffee, and shared spreadsheets. He proposed on a rainy Sunday in our favorite cafe. He wasn't dramatic. He wasn't intense, but he was there until he wasn't. The morning of the wedding, he texted, running a little late. Don't worry. I smiled, nervous but calm. Guests were arriving. My makeup was done. My father held my hand, proud. And then noon passed. Then 1 o'clock. Whispers filled the chapel. My bridesmaids checked their phones. My mother looked at me with pleading eyes. My heart began to crack. We called. He didn't answer. We texted. Nothing. By 2:30, the pastor pulled me aside. I'm sorry, Eliza. What do you want to do? I stared at the door. Then I turned to the guests. And I said, there won't be a wedding today. There were gasps, tears, embarrassment. But I felt hollow. I went home in my dress, sat on the floor, ate an entire cake with my fingers, cried in the bathtub until the water turned cold. The next morning, I got a letter, no return address, just my name, written in his neat handwriting. Inside, Eliza, I know you hate me. You should, but please read this, because this isn't about love. It's about truth. I sat on the floor and read every word. I didn't leave because I don't love you. I left because I do. Too much to ruin you. He wrote about a secret he had kept for years, a past he had buried. When he was 19, he had been in a car accident. He was drunk. His best friend died. He served time, but not everyone knew. Your parents think I'm safe, stable, clean, but I'm not. I'm guilty. I'm haunted. I still see his mother's face in my dreams. He wrote that he couldn't bring himself to start a new life with me while living a lie. You deserve someone unbroken. I cried harder than I had at the chapel. Not for the lost wedding, but for the pain he carried alone. I didn't reply. What was there to say? The news spread. Everyone had a theory. She pushed too hard. He had cold feet. No man disappears like that without another woman. I ignored them all. Instead, I took a trip alone. I went to a small seaside town, rented a cottage, woke up to birds and salt air, walked barefoot every morning, watched sunsets with no one beside me. There, I met Rosa, the cottage owner, an old woman with sharp eyes and soft hands. She didn't ask questions. She just brought tea every evening. One night, I told her everything. She listened. Then she said, sometimes we're saved from the life we think we want, because it's not the one that will grow us. I stayed for a month, started painting again, started laughing again. When I returned home, I gave away my dress. I turned the wedding scrapbook into a journal. Page by page, I rewrote my story, not as a tragedy, but as a turning point. A year later, I saw Thomas again, accidentally, at a bookstore. He looked older, softer. We hugged. I'm sorry, he whispered. I know, I said. I forgave you, but I didn't wait for you. We sat for coffee, talked like old friends. No tension, no longing, just closure. I'm not married now, but I'm whole. And that's enough. If you've ever been abandoned, remember, it says more about them than you. And sometimes their silence is your liberation. You deserve a love that doesn't run when it's hard. You deserve truth without asking. Thank you for reading my story. If it spoke to your soul, like, share, and subscribe, because life doesn't end when the wedding does. Sometimes that's when it truly begins.